Alright, hey everybody. On time today, so that's good. Let's get started. So today I've got a lot of stuff planned. We'll see how much I can do. First thing I want to do, of course, is finish up what I had started yesterday and update all of the game, like the chess scene scripts, to use the new netcode and game logic structure that we'd set up. I think I just had a couple more scripts to do, and then we're gonna test the reconnection thing and make sure everything works. Visual Studio's bothering me about an update. Let me at least get a reminder for that. I don't want to download it right now. Okay, well, we'll just deal with that. And then we might start converting some of the play scene scripts to use Lua instead of C#, so that way mod developers can include their own functions in the mods. So that will be pretty exciting. Alright, so yeah, I think I just need to update this win condition checker, which this will probably be one of the things that we convert to Lua, but we have to get it all corrected for now. So it needs the board and databases like that. Most of the things we need to do is instead of saying get or register, instead of just saying register, we need to use the get or register function as much as possible. Because before we always had problems with what class should register all these messengers and things. Handler equals right, and then it doesn't need license setup anymore, so we just copy all this. Bracket. Delete this function. Range, I don't have to change anything else here. So it's pretty simple. Press play. Well, I guess pressing play here won't give us anything. Alright, so we'll build the second player and try to load through and see what errors. I'm sure there'll be some. But I mostly just want to test the reconnection system real quick, and then we'll move on to the Lua scripts. Hopefully there won't be any glaring issues. bringing down the volume of my voice a lot, so hopefully that's a little better. Start host, and then we'll start the game. Oh wait, I pressed the wrong button there. Alright, so here we just press ready, and then we'll load the chess mod. Okay, we got some problems here. Assertion failed at turn manager 35. What would be the problem there? I guess I know that. Component, let's look. Gameflow logic, component registry, what's the line? 64, oh, yeah, 64. Okay, so contains, that's the whole point of calling the GitHub register. Gameflow logic, so 82. Huh. Oh, okay. The problem is that try get if there's a casting exception. Try get will return null if the object is in the key, but also, or if there's something registered to that key but it's the wrong type. So we need to change that's still a problem, but how do we, the problem is we don't really know what what object. Well, let's see. It was at turn manager 35. I guess we can see what class we're trying to do. Okay, yeah, see, this is the problem, is we were trying to get a message, but I think I changed this type to a command. Let's see, so we find all references for the next turn command. Yeah. You can see here also this is using a message. Alright, well, this is kind of interesting because commands don't have a listener. Let's see. So match manager. Yeah, so how this is supposed to work is we handler and then say next turn command. So yeah. So we know that right now here this won't work anymore because we'll need to create some other message that is like turn change or something. That's kind of what I was planning to do. So I think I'll just comment this out for now because we're going to rewrite the win condition checker to use Lua in the future. Okay, so what else do we have here? Gameflow logic command send. Oh yeah, it's gonna complain. So it's at match manager 57. Oh, okay, so it's just the same thing. or not the same thing, but a related error. So let's rebuild. So we'll join over here, and of course the editor will be the host. Oh, there we go. We've got pretty far. Right, so next turn command is not set to an object. Start turn choosing command. Okay, that's because we never... Yeah, we never set that. We never get the reference to this message. Choice made. So we send... This is a messenger of... player turn order end. So I'm just trying to see if maybe I forgot to just say start turn choosing command equals somewhere around here. Doesn't look like it. Oh, right here. Okay, so all we have to do is move this up. Like that. Okay, some things still work, that's good to see. It's oh, it's gonna throw errors now because I edited a script. Alright, I need to rebuild second player. Alright, same old thing. Alright, no errors. What's the server doing? Loading ready notify. So something is sending loading ready messages. Oh, okay, that makes sense. What we need to do to fix that. Oh yeah, non-blue. It's in the client loading manager. So once we get receive exit, we need to just call this ready state change false. Actually, we don't have to call that because we don't need to send our ready status. We'll just say active equals false. I guess sending a ready status won't cause any problems, so we might as well. Okay, so let's see. I'll just reload it one more time, and if we don't find anything else, I'll exit out of the editor and we'll try to reload. It'll be like if one of the game crashes and we try to re-enter the game. Okay. Alright, so I'm just gonna wait a sec to make sure that that doesn't send the ready player notice again. Everything looks good. I'm pretty sure that it won't let us actually select anything, but I'm not gonna risk it because I don't want to cause any errors, because I'd rather check this disconnect. So we got, and then what happens here? Okay, so the client disconnected to a timeout, and now the client just changed to seeking because it's trying to reconnect to the server. So if we let's just do the simple way. Rejoin. Reconnection state. Okay, something's not happening. Because this client should try to reconnect. This was the local client, so we know that always happens. Okay, so let's take a look at why that might not work. So it was set to disconnected, the state was, which I think is what should happen. Okay, so it sent this. Okay, and it did restart the connection because we saw that the client was trying to seek the host again. I wonder. Let's see, debug. Or let's do Beluga debug. Actually, no, we'll just want to do this because we want to log error. So it'll show up in the client log window. Oh. Okay, so let's do the frame number, and then start host. So we got time, oops, Unity engine, time, frame count, then port, password, and once, and progress game. And I guess I'll put some quotes around here so that we'll know if it's an empty string. And then here, yes, I'll have the address. Alright, so this will help us know what's going on a little better. so I'm going to put a password in here, because I think what might be happening is that the last reconnection information is getting lost when we get disconnected, so I want to make sure. Right. Okay, so it's still starting a client. Oh, because I think I messed up. Address, port, password. Oh yeah, that should be okay. I just messed up these numbers. So here it's, yeah, this is the host. That's the, so let's see, localhost, port 1000, password dog. So that is correct. And if I rejoin, what does it try to do here? Okay, let's see here. This time I think I'll close the client so we can have a better idea of what's going on. Because we can look in the server information on the editor easier. Alright, so yeah, I guess that, okay, in that case this will be the host. Oh, I need to put the password. Okay, and now we close the host. Okay, so let's take a look at the information in here. So the server, okay, yeah, we know that's false because this, oh, we know this is junk info because this player is not the host. Okay, but it did keep all this information, which is what I wanted to make sure. It's in progress game. Okay, so then if we open up this player again and try to rejoin, let's see what happens. Interesting. I'm not really sure why Unity's is not automatically connecting. We're not even getting any information. So if I add the network, manager HUD, okay, so that was the problem. It wasn't actually, didn't actually restart the client. But we didn't even get an error about that or anything. So start client command, let's look and see. I know this is just a network tracker. Start client. Alright, so it calls this function. Maybe I need to stop the client first. Okay, let's do this. We'll just have this HUD up so that way we can at least see the status of the network to make sure it's in sync with our states down here. So all right. So then when we stop this, interesting. So even though it says client connection change is seeking, the client is not actually active. But why did it not throw an error or something? Okay, so I think it's because this logic is not correct. Instead of being seeking here, okay, I think the reason I did this is because I thought when the client lost connection with the server, the client didn't actually stop. So it would technically still be in the seeking state because that's how the server works, but the client should actually be in the stop state now. I wonder. Let's add seeking here. I don't know how you could disconnect if you haven't connected to anything yet, but whatever. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna need to rebuild everything. It's a bit slower this time. Okay, so we don't need to drag that over there. And then we'll have this be the host again. Okay, and then we'll join. Just okay, so that's all good, and then close. Okay, so first client changed to stopped and then it changed to seeking. Oh, that still didn't work. Didn't start up the client. Game for logic tick.
Take a seat, I'm a hero. Listen to my ego. If you're not first, you're fucking zero. People caught on the job to bring some versatility. Sounding so hard, you turn.
Oh, okay, I see what's happening here.
Should be criminal. Dig into your brain for the game. Go fucking subliminal. Like a spinning ball of pain. Let me speed, blast your cranium. Scramble your brain and nuke it like uranium.
So when we can set to seeking only here on start. So maybe we need to wait a frame before we can reconnect. So private int. Alright, so bool wait to reconnect. So I'll do this in this class so that the game logic won't have to worry about waiting a frame. And then we should probably, let's rename this once reconnect, or actually no, it doesn't care if it's reconnected, it says wants to connect. And then we need to have a disconnect frame. Oh wait, let's do this a different way. So none, just disconnected, wants to connect. Alright, so when we get a disconnect, we set want. Oh, we should do that before we change the state. So wait, connect wait equals just disconnected, and then if something calls the start client instead of that's kind of annoying. This bool won't be correct anymore. Don't really know how to handle that. Let's see what can. Let's go to definition. Oh right, network tracker. Right now we just always return true, but I don't know if there's some time when starting the client can fail. What we could do is just fail the start client here. Let's see, let's try that. If connect wait. Then we'll return false here, and it's kind of annoying that we have to give the what am I trying to say? Give the responsibility to wait a frame to the game code, but I think that's the only way we can do it. Then if connect wait equals just disconnected, then we'll set it to false here. And we don't even need this right now. so let's, on the reconnect manager, if this returns false, then it just tries to restart, and it will restart again in 10 seconds. I guess we can lower that. Let's try it in 5 seconds. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Alright, so let's rebuild the client and we'll test it again. Alright, so we'll have this be the host, like usual. Or not like usual, but as we've been doing these last few times. Okay, so everything's good so far. Okay, so then it disconnects. It still didn't work. What happened there? Oh, is it because... Oh no, I think it's just that messages later. So we get client stopped, and then it tries to reconnect. Wonder what... So this is on stop, okay. Okay, so... Interesting. Network tracker calls on stop client before on disconnect. I think I remember I was having a problem with that before. So client controller on connect, on disconnect, on error, on start, on stop. Yeah, so this on disconnect, I don't think we actually need it, but we need to set this connect weight right here, and I'll just see, I even have this right here, I just didn't read it. So yeah, I don't think we need this code. Alright, so let's we're gonna need to rebuild everything again. Okay, so start this. I guess I really don't need to have passwords, but I just want to make sure that it doesn't get lost somehow. Alright, and this is the client. Okay, and then exit. Okay, so yeah, it's saying restart, disconnected. Oh, okay, another stupid error. I never registered for updates, so we'll go game, add ticking this. So the problem was this code was never called. But at least we know that it's returning false, and so it's trying to restart the connection. that's all good, and then okay, so it's timeout, and it should reconnect in a second. Okay, good, and the client actually started. Okay, so now if I restart this, hopefully they'll actually connect. Okay, so we got a timeout again. That's kind of annoying. Does the game not deal with that? I didn't even know that could happen. Okay, I guess it doesn't restart. Okay, so yeah, the client is stopped right now. Okay, so what we need to do is we just need to call this again, really. We can probably simplify this. So if connection helper, or let's see, so switch, we'll do this the other way around. Connection helper state, connection state, and then if it's ever stopped, really we don't care what state we're in, then we want to try to reconnect here. Let's rename this to try to reconnect. And yeah, we don't need to set the state here because we set it right here. And then case, this only happens when the client is disconnected or is rejected, so then we need to exit to the lobby. Okay, and so if state equals int reconnection state dot disconnected, and the connection helper says we're reconnected, then we will start off the chain of events to restart the game. Okay, so yeah, that's a lot simpler, I think. Right, so close this up. I wonder, I think that the server will never close. Well, because obviously it has the local client. But I wonder, I don't think that when I try to join as a client that the game notifies you if the connection closes. So let's see, does it? I'll just leave this open a bit and see if it times out. I guess I can go ahead and start this. Okay, yeah, so it does happen, but the game thinks the server rejected. So let's so better start client error messages, server rejection, creation fail, timeout, etc. Okay, so, but we actually want to start a lobby, or start a host here. No, probably the editor's timed out, yeah. So nothing weird happens when I change that code, which is good to see. Okay, so it's trying to restart. Okay, there it goes. And I guess I'll wait a bit to test the timeout again. I think it takes about a minute or so to trigger. Okay, yeah, there it goes, and now it's trying to restart again. Okay, there we go. And it did, so thankfully that works. And so then we... Oh wait, we actually want to rejoin. Okay, so we got... something happened, but we got a null exception. So send game state is null. I must have forgotten to get those messages. I can get them from the mod loading screen, I think. Where is it? Okay, so yeah, we just grab this. Okay. Oh yeah, we need to say scene game. Alright. Let's try this one more time. Since we know the reconnect or the timeout works, now we don't have to wait for that, so it should be a little quicker. This is will be another advantage to using Lua scripts for as much game logic as we can, because I won't have to rebuild the second player just to edit the scripts a bit, because it will just compile them on runtime. Alright, so we'll load up chess. Things looking good. And I'll just stop it and restart right away. Okay, so now what's happening? Waiting for server reply. Okay, so yeah, this rejoining, it should have loaded into the loading scene, I think. So right now, yeah, so that's why nothing's happening. Let's look at that. So we got the rejoin screen controller. Okay, so I did set that up, but it didn't actually go anywhere. Oh, maybe the state wasn't correct. Alright, because it only happens if you say start client Do I need to have separate? Oh yeah, because it changes the message. Okay, so if... Okay, so switch... state. It's gonna be about word soup. So we want start client or start host. Oh, what's with... There we go. Okay. Hopefully this will be everything I'll go through this time, because I think once we load into the mod loading screen, then we'll just enter into already tested code, so it should go correctly. Okay, so yeah, I'm not going to bother with passwords anymore because we know that it's working okay. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to just close it one more time, just to make sure nothing weird happens. Everything looks to be going fine. Okay, so now, good, that's working. I'm going to do it the opposite way this time, where the editor is the server, just to make sure that works. And then we'll close this. So server change timeout, and then it changes right to open, so, and the server is still there. So yeah, that's all good. And I don't think the server will ever time out. Let's see. Something's going wrong here, obviously. We got server message, so it validated this. We can see that the helper or the client connection changed to validated, but we never received the game state, looks like. Huh. What? Do I do any code here that's different? Let's see. So this is the only code that's different if you're in the host or client mode. That's nothing. And this is how we want it to happen. So it doesn't send ready either. Let's see. When does it send this game state? Okay, so it sends it right there. But we never got anything. Change connected, helper, host connected. What was the reconnection state? Interesting. So the reconnection state never changed, even though the... Doesn't make much sense. Okay. So why did that happen? This reconnection state is connected right here. And then even though the server, or the helper connection changes to unconnected, oh, okay. Okay, so I think, yeah, so we handle stopped and then none and then connected, but we don't handle unconnected, which, let's see. So I might have been looking in the wrong spot for the error. So this would only happen for the server. So what would we do? I guess we just change the state. So let's see. If state equals ent state dot connected. Oh, it's, yeah, reconnection state. I guess we do this anytime. Okay, let's actually do this a different way. If it does not equal disconnected, then I think all I have to do is set it to disconnected. Maybe a better thing to do. No, I think this is all we have to do. We just set the state to disconnected and we don't have to try to reconnect or anything else. Because since it's unconnected, that means the server is up and waiting for another connection. So we don't have to try to restart or anything. Okay, so let's build and run. And I'm just going to make sure this doesn't cause any problems by just trying to reconnect as the client one more time like we were doing before. Since I changed the logic, I don't want to introduce any new bugs. So I'll make sure this way is still working and then I'll go back to trying to reconnect as the server. Okay, so reconnection looks like it's all good. And then rejoin. Okay, reconnection connected. Okay, good. So now, wait, close that. So now the editor will be the server, and we'll try to reconnect to a game as a server. And then the client quits. Okay, so reconnection state is now disconnected, which is what we want. And hover connection is unconnected, so that's all good. So it's just waiting for the client to try and reconnect. Okay, and that all worked right. So again, I'll just try to do it again, because sometimes trying to do things twice in one session can give you some bugs. Okay, so everything's working great. So the only other thing I need to test is, like, the other possibility is if the players lose internet, and so both game instances stay up, but and then when the internet comes back, I need to make sure that they reconnect properly. But unfortunately, there's no way that I know of to test that while without losing connection to you guys, so maybe I'll do that tonight. Well, let's just try to press stop here and see what happens. Because that actually might work, right? Okay, that did. So the client got loading ready messages. Loaded game point send. Okay, so it sends the game state. Ready notify. Okay. Yeah, so I'm just making sure it sends the game state as expected, and then it creates the board and then sends the ready and exit. So alright, cool. Alright, so we still need to do more netcode because we've got to send movement commands over the network and make sure neither player is cheating or something like that. But I want to move on and go do some modding work because I've been doing netcode now for over a week. So we're going to try and implement Lua scripts in the mods for a couple uses. So the big one will be the move options for pieces. Right now we use this really complicated function which works well, but the thing is, like, it's hard to debug and it's not that easy for mod authors to write their own movement either. Let me show you. So we got the chess mod, and actually it's down here, I think. So yeah, if we look at the bishop, for example, you're not gonna load for me? How strange. Okay, well, let me pull up something else. Okay, actually, it looks like I'm crashing, so if you guys can still hear me, I'll be right back.